Hello everybody, welcome to a new semester of public speaking. My name is Jay Howard, and the purpose of this video is to introduce you to the course and give you some words of wisdom about how to succeed in the class and just some general words about what to expect. The first thing you should do is print out the weekly schedule. I know that people don't print things out very much anymore. I read things on the screen, but I do encourage you to actually print the schedule out so that you can have it by your desk. Ultimately, I know that you'll do what you need to do. If you are the type of person who doesn't print stuff out, that's fine. But the reason that I encourage you so strongly to print out the schedule is because this class is all about deadlines. If we were meeting in a face-to-face class, I would be able to remind you verbally when you come into class every day about approaching assignments. Because this is an online class, you do not get the added bonus of my constant presence to remind you when things are coming up. It's all on you to remember when things are due. And I have done my responsibility by creating the class schedule and making it available to you. I will remind you as much as I can, but ultimately, deadlines. You'll find that the class moves pretty fast, especially once it gets going. And so if you get behind, it's very hard to catch back up. Now, the nice thing is you'll find that 1 week is similar to the week before it. We have typical assignments that are due at the same time in each week every week. So, for example, you'll get a lot of discussion boards in this class. You have chapter readings. You have PowerPoints that go along with the chapter readings. You have short mini lecture videos from myself that you'll be watching in addition to reading the chapters and looking at the PowerPoints. You'll have quizzes on those chapters. And then in addition to those things, you'll also have speech outlines and speech videos that you will have to upload at various points throughout the semester. So the nice thing is that once you get a handle on how to upload speeches, the rest of it is pretty simple. And once you get a handle on when the discussion boards are due, when the quizzes are due, when the response discussion board posts are due, it's pretty simple. But it can be hard at first to get into the habit of things. So that's kind of my word of warning up front. There are some major advantages and disadvantages to every format of class that we offer. Some people think that online classes are easier, and some people think they're harder. Ultimately, I guess you'll be the judge of that by the end of the semester. But I do think that it's a misconception that taking this class online is easier. So sorry to burst that bubble up front if you're one of those folks. Because I'd like for you to imagine that you are in a face-to-face class giving a speech in real time to your classmates. Okay, that brings on some nervousness and some stage fright. Now, if you are taking this class online, like you are, you have to create a video, and the knowledge that people will eventually watch that video is still going to give you some of the same kinds of anxiety and stage fright. But what's different is you have an added responsibility in the online class. If you come in to a face-to-face class and give a speech, you got one shot at it, you give the speech and it's over. But when you are preparing a speech video, if the speech video, the first time you try it, doesn't go well, it's on you to turn off the camera, go back to the beginning, and start again. You can use as many takes as you need to get the speech video that you want before you upload it. Typically, people should be doing that in the face-to-face classes anyway. It's called rehearsal. But what I find is in the online classes, people rehearse more than they would have in a face-to-face class because you're able to see your video before you upload it. If you see if there's any big major mistakes. If your cat walks through the screen or something, you can turn it off. You can go back to the beginning and start again without the cat. But what I'm saying is in the online classes, you have a greater opportunity and therefore a greater responsibility to polish the speech as much as possible than you might have in a face-to-face class. So I don't know if you may have thought of that, but something to think about. Another difference between online classes and face-to-face classes, when I teach a face-to-face class, a lot of times I will ask a question of the class, and I'm trying to generate classroom discussion, and I find a lot of times answers are not forthcoming. There's actually not that much discussion in a face-to-face class. Sometimes classes are too big, or the environment's not right. Whereas you will have many discussion boards in this class, this online class. And so you'll actually get, I think, a greater opportunity in an online class to discuss and interact with your classmates than you might have had in a face-to-face class. And I want to point that out because I think it's a common misconception. People typically think, oh, if I want to interact with my classmates, I need to take a face-to-face class. And I found that not to be the case. There's usually not as much discussion in a face-to-face class because of the limitations of the lecture style class, whereas online you get to have like specific discussion boards, and everyone is required to chime in to those discussion boards. So you can have some really good discussion in the online section that is hard to generate in the face-to-face section. Looking down at my notes, so I've talked about deadlines, I've talked about some of the similarities and differences between online classes and face-to-face classes. One other thing that you should be aware of in the online sections, we are going to be communicating a lot via email. Of course, I record these videos that you'll see, but ultimately if you have a question for me, typically it's going to be, you're going to ask it through email and I'll respond through email. So I need for you to include the section number of your specific class in the headline of the email. Otherwise, it's very difficult for me to identify which class section you're in because I'm teaching a number of class sections. So please put your class, your COM 115, and then the section number in the subject heading, along with whatever else you put in the subject heading, so that it's easier for me to respond. I will respond to your email within 24 hours. If I do not, please send the email again. But that is my plan, to respond within 24 hours. All of the emails that I send that are class-wide will be archived on the Blackboard section, so if you lose something from me or it gets deleted or something, you can always find any announcement that I send through email because it's also on Blackboard. I'm looking forward to the discussion boards. It's going to typically ask you a question about the chapter, and I ask that you don't just summarize the chapter when you post on the discussion boards, and don't just agree with the things that other people have said, but find out what part of the question is most interesting to you on the discussion board question, which you'll see when we get there. And feel free to use some of your own personal experiences, your own thoughts in your answers to the discussion board. If you disagree with something in the textbook, that is your prerogative. You can talk that out on the discussion board and see if anyone else has the same questions or disagreements with that you do. So you don't just have to accept everything that is in the text if you want to question it, push back on it, because I think that's how we learn. To conclude, my name is Jay Howard, and my emails I'll sign off as Mr. Howard. I love teaching. I love this class. I love public speaking. I am here to help you succeed in this class. I have a lot of students, but I don't have so many students that I can't get to know each of you individually, especially through the speeches that you give. You're going to be disclosing some personal information in those speeches, and in that way we're all going to get to know each other a little bit throughout the course of the semester. So I look forward to working with you. I look forward to your emails. When there are technical difficulties throughout the semester, I look forward to solving them with you. We will get through this together. I think we'll have a great time. By the end of the semester, you will know more than you currently do about how to put together and give a good speech. Thanks a lot, and without further ado, if you haven't yet, go to the Getting Started with This Class section of the Blackboard page and do those steps. And I'll see you in the next video.